It's time to get rid of that slicer or hook. It can be so destructive to your game of golf. This is Mark Amy Golf. My name is Mark Amy, PGA professional, TPI certified. We've got 3 stages to get through to really get rid of that slicer and hook. Stage 1 is to get to the source of the main reason why you haven't got control of that golf, or why there's too much side spin on the ball and it's disappearing off left or right. You really got to try and attack that smoking gun and really flip it on its head, so then you're hitting a different shot, a totally different one, which then makes a huge difference to confidence and momentum going forward. But you have to realise that when you attack that is this first stage of the work in progress, because it won't necessarily be going straight at the target and be the shot that you want to end up with, but you want to change something. You want to see a change where confidence will grow. So if you stop hitting that slice and maybe you start hitting a pull, you can see a difference. There's progress being made and you've got rid of that shot that you don't like, and there's a chance that there's improvement happening and something's starting to work. The main suspects to cause the slice or hook is 1, the grip, so the position of your hands. 2 is the club face, so the angle of the club face. And 3rd, which is very easy ignored, is the rotation of that lead arm, how efficient that lead arm can rotate through the ball, which if that's restricted, that's very much easy to leave the club face open and then cause it to disappear off to the right on that particular occasion. So if we break that down, we break that down into grip first, club face, and then the lead arm, the rotation, the restriction in that, and what effects each 3 of those can have in causing you to slice or hook it, and how to improve them to improve that shot. Okay, so now we have to cover the grip. So you hear the expression, the right hand's too weak or the left hand's too strong, which can get very confusing, because that's not tension. So you're not talking about tension, you're literally talking about the positions of the hands on the golf club. So the idea of the grip is that if you let your arms hang down naturally, they're slightly turned in, and that's the idea of how you're trying to put them on the club. If you can see in the screen now, there's various different positions that can cause a club face to very much open or close through the swing, and that can be from the left hand being too strong, which will cause the club face to be shut on the way back, right hand being too weak, which is quite common, which can cause the club face to open on the way through. Also left hand being too weak as well. So if you see in the screen as I'm going through this, that you'll see the different various positions that the hands can get into, which can cause a massive difference on the position of the club face. So sometimes you can almost get too technical on trying to stop that shape of shot, and purely it's how you're holding the club, which will make a massive difference to then controlling that club face, which then controls that golf ball. Next is the club face, the position of the club face through the swing. Are you opening or closing it? Opening would cause the slice, closing it would cause that hook. So you've got 2 points, you've got the takeaway and the top of the swing. So the takeaway, it's very easy to roll the hands, which would then open that club face. It's very easy to try and keep the club face too square and straight back, which then tends to shut the face, rather than that neutral position between the two, so that would be square. The next one, the position at the top, is the club face closed. So that's when that club face is facing away from the target. So as you can see, it's facing towards the camera, so that means that it's in a closed position. Or have you rolled those hands as you've gone up and then open that club face at the top, so then that would be in a total opposite position. So that's more facing towards the target rather than that neutral square position. So there's your 2 points to check. The takeaway and the top of the swing, is that club face open, neutral or closed. So then you've got the grip in place, which will help get that club face more under control, which has a massive effect on reducing that slice or hook. Right, next is the shoulder mobility, which I think is a massive one. It shows the shoulder mobility in the lead arm. So if you're right-handed, this is your left arm. It's very easily overlooked. So it's the mobility of being able to rotate that shoulder, which is done by the rotator cuffs. It's very easy to have that mobility when you're stood up in that posture position, but if you have that posture position and you're slightly rounded, so you've got a slight C posture, it's very difficult then to get that rotation of that lead arm, which will then lead that club face to being open. So there's various different points to cover then. So it's like you've got to try and improve your posture at the beginning, so to make sure you're definitely in a slightly better position at the beginning, so you've got a more neutral posture rather than that rounded one, which will then help that arm be able to release through the shot better. Or potentially you've got something wrong with the rotator cuff and that has reduced that rotation, so you've got a little bit of a restriction. But then it's difficult because that takes time to improve that, and you won't necessarily have the time or the patience to do that. So you can get around that and then increase the strength of the grip, so you then would make that grip a lot stronger, so you gain a knuckle on the left hand but the right hand a bit further underneath, and get that club face potentially looking a lot more closed on the way back, which will then help sync up, match up with what you're doing with the follow through. So there are ways around it, but it's definitely worth checking. So you stand nice and upright, do the rotation of the arm first, get in a posture position for a mid-eye, and you've got to try and match that rotation. So that will show if you've got a restriction in it. Don't try too hard, don't move that chest back to try and achieve that rotation with that rotator cuff. Don't force the issue. But if you found out you've got a restriction which potentially can be causing you to leave that club face open, which would cause a slice, or you're overcompensating to try and reduce it, it will make a massive difference. It will stop that frustration, and you can get around it by adjusting the grip and closing the club face up on that backswing. Our third and final stage. So far we have got the grip in place, we've got the club face under control, and we know physically what we can and can't do. Now it's all about that focus. So have you got internal or external focus? Internal focus is very easily done. It's where you're really hoping, oh, I just want to hit a good shot, I just want to hit that ball, I want to stop it slicing or hooking, but you're trying to prevent something rather than that external focus of focusing on where the ball's going to. So you put that into that pre-shot routine. So rather that internal focus and then really just concentrating on this part, which will cause you generally to hit a bad shot, you've got that external focus. So you've got two practice swings. You pick out a target, you imagine that shot going down there, so you use a tracer line, use your favourite colour, picture the tracer line flying down towards that target, so you've got that positive mindset, which will then encourage you to get that bottom half through the shot. You're really focusing on a shot rather than those muscles kicking in and trying to prevent the shot. So when you've got that external focus, it really will improve that potential to turn through that shot, and you'll deliver such a better shaped shot, and it's such a more positive way of playing the game. I hope that all helps and you seriously get that control of that golf ball. Make sure you subscribe, give us a good thumbs up, leave any comments below, and I'll see you soon.